Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and evening and amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast with your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero's like defender of the fatherland. Off here to a 1v1 on Bocage. In the north, it is Stormjaeger, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 3rd Panzer Division here with Jaeger Infantry, Mobile Defense, and Storm Doctrine with Pantherfast Infantry and Tank and Bullets. And this one for 50% faster. In the south, it is King of Salted Fish Kingdom. We'll just call him Saltfish. Fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Taking on the role here of the 16th Tank Corps with Gat Motor, Lend-Lease, and Shock Rifle. Infantry, anti-tank grenade range, and anti-tank gun bullets as well there. That kind of the MD42 versus the conscripts. As always, a big hearty thanks to our patrons and supporters, these champions, these wonderful, wonderful people who support the Propagandacast with the hard-earned money. Big thanks to you. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon. You can just donate. Links are in the video description for Patreon or PayPal. Also, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. Prevent the Google secret police from kicking in my door and dragging me away. You know, the usual. Anyways, moving forward here for the German army backing up here. Up north there we got Pioneers advancing for the glory of Deutschland. More control there for Saltfish as he steady advances for the Rodina. Steady advances here so far. No sign of doctrine yet from either side. I mean, they all certainly show, say, tasty options. The Stormjaeger, I would say, Jaeger Infantry, of course, the most likely. G for the free, Jaeger Command Squad, Ambush Training. All that stuff sort of has a more immediate impact. Puma Cook 3 with mobile defense. Of course, the Awesome sort of more late mid-game. Storm is Storm Doctrine. I always feel that one's kind of like, you know, a bit disorganized. Like, it's not entirely sure what Storm means. And so can't quite make up its mind. As here, got Motor, Shock Rifle, I think are very light. Well, Shock Rifle's not using a lot. You supposed to think it's a fairly good one. And then these, I think, is also fairly good. So these are all kind of good. And this gun is in for coding up the country in the centre. East side, we got a country looking to flank of out. We've got a grenade squad here. Already here, Stormjaeger has seen through Saltfish there. And he's got a unit to cover up the flank of the M42. Good work there. Western fuel point seized. And he is coming to disrupt that. 4th control there for Saltfish. In the south here, we got the front of X moving up. Worth noting, of course, in terms of capping orders, going in a bit more aggressively. There's a Stormjaeger focusing more on putting pressure on Stormjaeger rather than securing the fuel faster. Bit interesting here. Pioneers pop back into the building. Checking to see maybe there's like, you know, some bottles of wine or something hidden. Jürgens, this is the Eastern Front. They don't drink wine. Are you sure? Yes, this isn't France. So it looks suspiciously much like France, but nine. They drink vodka. Or antifreeze. Ghanese moving forward here for Stormjaeger. Southern fuel point almost seized here. No sandbags there from Saltfish. Machine moving about and quickly flanking about the conscripts. Very good aggressive play with Stormjaeger's MD42. Thumbs up. Pioneers there moving towards the centre, leaving the western fuel point theoretically open here, but also going for the cover at the same time. Good aggressive disruptive play by Stormjaeger. Very solid there. Goes to the conscripts. Almost got the centre with the Pioneers. Up north here, tech on the way for Stormjaeger. Grenadier routed. We've got Grenadiers MD42 as the conscripts here. Getting a bit more dicey here for Stormjaeger. Pioneers with support as well. Losing the western fuel point as well. Getting a bit spicy here for Stormjaeger. Very integral here as Saltfish there keeps up the pressure. Ground lost the fuel point. Back here we got medics on the way there for Saltfish and the Red Army. Machine gun there with 1 kill so far. Got the eastern point here. Probably going to move for the eastern fuel point, I guess. Tech done. Bunker ups roll there for Stormjaeger. No sign of doctrine yet. Could of course go for ambush or Jaeger Infantry for the ambush camouflage already now on the MD42. Wouldn't be half bad there. Wouldn't be half bad. Unless of course you're the Soviets. Bunker right about done. Gonna get that upgraded, I imagine. Gonna just come see machine gun Pioneers up as well. So yeah, he's gonna try and grab the southern fuel point instead. Continuing the northern fuel point here to Saltfish and the Red Army. Back here troops reinforcing healing. Getting ready for this big push for socialism. Got the eastern victory point. Very good. Medics on the way there for Stormjaeger, die Sanitäter. Machine moving forwards, Pioneers backing up. North, we've got Grenadiers, the engineers there by the point close here to Stormjaeger's base. Both players, I would say, fairly fluid and aggressive players. Very nice to see as always. Very nice to see. Conscripts have been flanking the Pioneers. Machine having a hard time spotting that. Definitely a bit more risky. They sort of back off the fuel to assist here. Realise, of course, it's more priority. It keeps the front line intact. Then try and get the fuel point fast. So Good play here by Stormjaeger, of course realising what matters. What truly matters is killing the other guys. Northic on Israel's thing you need inside the build. Going to be tough in the seeing retreat there from Stormjaeger. No Panzergrenadier. Probably going to try and rush out a light vehicle soon instead, I guess. Like an armoured car. Got light machines on the way there. Could also consider Jaeger Infantry with the G-footed fish that had more impact. I think there's a salted fish right now, but we shall see, we shall see. Back in Saltfish's base, nothing further happening there as of yet. He's just riding the initial high here versus Stormjaeger, disrupting, and just being a real socialist pain in the posterior. Like to make a nice company up here for Stormjaeger, and again I'd expect an armoured car. We could even see like a 250 half check I think would also be nice, but obviously less immediately splashy impacty. Unless you go for the flamethrower version, but it doesn't have misses for that. And even that takes some time to upgrade into, so even that's like, you know, not super splash impact. Gives you the conscripts. Being slowly pushed back, you like some one of these. There we go, armoured car for Stormjaeger for Germany, Deutschland. But yeah, Saltfish is really the strong in the early game, which is typical of the sort of Wehrmacht matchup. And again, one of the reasons why Ostrom is kind of popular, because again, it allows this matchup to be a lot less rubbish in the early game. Which is really, you know, where a lot of the matches quickly be determined if you're very unfortunate as the Wehrmacht. Which, of course, they're doing nothing to then rectify. While, again, consistently, you know, buffing all of the Allied late games, of course, the Wehrmacht late game apparently can't be too good either. Yeah, I don't quite get the logic of that one. But anyways, comes to them suppressed him before turning up. They grab the point here. Armoured cart there for Stormjaeger. Suppressed here. No doctrine yet here for either side. Got the armoured car pushing forward here, pushing through the bushes and possibly a few daisies. Comes there, finding their cover. Perhaps slowly crumbling away alongside the health totals as they are being hammered there by heavy German fire, going for the Western victory point. Not straight for the fuel. Still a good benefit, I think, from our Panzergrenadier squad here, or at least using Jaeger Infantry and the Jaeger Command Squad, but definitely some more infantry right now for Stormjaeger, which is very strong, and Panzergrenadiers in particular are quite strong counters to the conscript, so that could be a deal there. Meanwhile, we got the tank kind of up. They're going to be a fast T-70 most likely. Of course, this is a Pack 40 here from Stormjaeger. But he is starting getting some pushback there still, but he is nonetheless behind the fuel here compared to Saltfish and the Red Army. There's the conscripts on coming in there, autocannon blazing away there. Putting quite a bit of manpower there, Mr. Stormjaeger. Great for Saltfish, but I think less great there for Stormjaeger. No sign of a doctrine from either side, both players continuing to hesitate there on the choice. And there you go, as expected, the T-some light tank here for Saltfish. Armored coming westwards. Conscripts. We do get Jaeger Infantry, I would say fairly late, because he's taking us some T for the fuse out sooner, plus the Jaeger Command squad out faster, so you know, that could have been timed, I think, a bit better. T-some light tank almost down there for Saltfish, concrete force, armored car then plastering with heavy autocannon fire. These with the grenadiers, losses slowly piling up here for Saltfish, and keeps up the engagement, just keeps up the pressure, momentum. Charging here at Stormjaeger, every opening, every gap. Like a really annoying fly finding that one open window you got there. T-some rushing forward here for Saltfish, crushing a series of things. Comes the routed, taking a far from the Grenadiers. Pack 40's not yet for Stormjaeger, surprised he was rather hesitant on that one as well. He does go for the Pack 40, but obviously could that a bit sooner. Then again, with anti-tank in production 1, it's not like a huge deal, since again it gives an incredible, you know, production speed bonus, which is obviously going to take advantage of. But you know, it's nonetheless, I think, worth pointing out. It's a big push here by Saltfish. T-70, of course, spearheading the effort. Stormjaeger just trying to buy time, sending them infantry and heavy cavalry, which the T-7's going to struggle a bit with clearing out. And now we're time to bring up the Pack 40, while at the same time ensuring that Saltfish doesn't rush too far as the head then just causes a quick frontal collapse to Stormjaeger again. Armored car fixed up. You could of course consider some telemines as well. He's going for more light machine guns though. No G for the piece there. Comes down on the point here. Here's routed. Mine down there from Saltfish. Not detecting the spot was already mined once and it's paid off. Uncount the conscripts. Still, Stormjaeger's managed to get, you know, roughly half the map there now. So, you know, not all bad. And before we break from the conscripts, kind of using the commands for them getting there. Pack 40 from the T70, good hit. Of course, segments of Saltfish needs to be slightly more cautious now with his T70 light tank. Back hit reinforcing. Preparing for the next big push there against fascists. Armor coming forwards. Back hit reinforcing healing. Ooh, nice use of the sprint. He actually, I think, trying to get closer to Pantherfast. Very nice to see them. Very nice. Obviously, Saltfish is probably not nearly as impressed by that. Hey, look at this, Petrov! The fascists! They're getting exercise! You idiot! They're coming after us with the Pantherfasts! Heat the reverse now! Oh, sick of that! Could of course consider taking out them, but a Panther Squad now would also be very nice. Mortar could also be a consideration for Stormjaeger. There you go, nice using the Incendium Piercing Rounds, also got Ambush Camouflage up. Very good. Skirmishes between Pioneer Squad from the west, that should be an easy one for the conscripts. Going to use armor cars the conscripts, taking damage into them, and they're going to tank me off. Armored car, they're a bit stuck. Still nothing on the Stormjaeger's base. Seems like he's hesitant and constantly plotting out possible options all the time. Having a bit of an indecision cycle, perhaps. Hard to say there. Obviously, sounds like I cannot read his mind here. I cannot read his mind. Imagine if I could, I'd be the best Camellies 2 player ever. Although I'd probably play poker instead. Much more profitable. Anyways, Grand Western points here. Still an attack there for Stormjaeger. Grabbing the Eastern Victory point, going to use before moving forwards. Field gun away there for Saltfish. This is 3 divisional field gun. Also known as the Ratschsprung by the Germans, due to the distinctive noise it made. A lot of German nicknames were kind of sound-based when you think about it. For example, they called the MG42 the violin, or Hitler's violin, for example, as one nickname. You got Jaeger conscripts. Jaeger conscripts clashing out here by the Western stream neck, and he's being also shot to bits here. Rafting up against conscripts. Oh, straight into the stream there, possibly adding more dead corpses into it, but not quite there. Then it's being pushed back here. T7 getting ready to already. Very good there for Saltfish. Stormjaeger finally taking up, but he's flooding quite a bit of manpower, frighteningly consistently. And I really would at this point again recommend just, you know, more Panther Grenadiers. Another machine could also be an option, but a mortar, or even more Grenadiers could be an option. Just, you know, spend some of that manpower, but consider fuel catchers. Definitely don't think it's great for Stormjaeger to be throwing that much manpower. Not a huge fan of that. Just going to go bad with the field gun. I mean, also say, you know, he's doing a lot of things good, so he's not like, you know, he's all terrible here, but definitely not a fan of the manpower flow. Definitely not a fan of that. It's probably currently, I think, one of my bigger critiques of Stormjaeger is just that manpower float. Using rushing forwards here for Saltfish. Goes straight for the armored car, which I think that is toast. So bomb calls up. He could rush out a Stuke, but also rush out an Ostwind. Lightning goes up Panther 4. Southern Field makes use of the conscripts. Saltfish will put pressure on Stormjaeger, trying to get involved in the conscripts. Could possibly get off, but there you go. T70 saving the day once more for some poor Soviet soul. Very close to a Stuke 3G. And again, Dad's going to go for that for T7, though technically the Stuke can very quickly put the T7 to rest, and, you know, just also set up a warning sign to any other Soviet armor that, you know, they need to be careful. That's a Stuke about. Mine goes off there. Spotting ahead as well there. Perhaps he's always trying to get his Stuke sense tinkling, the possibility of Stuke appearing out of nowhere, causing Saltfish to relive some very, very painful memories. But anyways, And we got shock rifle from Saltfish. Interesting. That one we're seeing a lot here. KV-8s though. Anti-tank and ambush tactics. Shock troopers. The incendiary artillery barrage. And of course the IS-2 heavy tank. Ground the eastern point here. We got 342s and 435. You go for the Austrian now. Make a nice damage company with the Saltfish. But again, he's lining over for the Panther 4. Still flooding manpower there to a degree I am not wildly comfortable with. And he's moving forwards. Machine gun there sneaking about. Company forwards. Finish the controls there. I mean, he's almost loading 1,000 manpower. That is a bit concerning. Like, again, he go for panzer guns, he's go for fuel caches. He could build bunkers. Like, you can do so much with all this manpower rather than just having sit doing absolutely nothing. It's not like there's an interest rate on it. Head forward in the T-70 here. Incendiary called in the machine gun pack 40, which will pull signals to Stormjaeger. His opponent has gone for shot rifle. Lost the command squad. Can of course quickly replace that now. We got the Panther over the Stormjaeger, very much expected. Definitely should call in another command squad though, and you know, may want to consider mortar. May want to consider mortar.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Shocked as well here for Saltfish, really adding the pressure here versus Stormjaeger. Meanwhile, seems to still be holding back his strength for some reason. He's been handled here with the T-7 light tank, closing the east level. Got a northern victory point here. Got the T-7, that's pretty good here for Stormjaeger. That is pretty good. Again, manpower float, that's good. East side, we've got Pioneers, and before to us the Kennedy's exit with light machine push back the counter. Panther 4 right about done. But yeah.
Panzer 4 is ready for battle.
Vincent Center being attacked here. Panther 4 finally ready here for Stormjaeger for Germany. Deutschland. Continuing from the northern field point again. Now we got the Panther 4 to counter-attack with, and the machine gun, very good. Going for sniper now. That's an interesting choice at this time versus Soviets. I'm not entirely sure what the cause of that one is. Perhaps he's experimenting, or perhaps there's some sort of ingenious plan there being brewed in Stormjaeger's head. Perhaps that's why he kept floating so much. He's trying to figure out, do I want to go for the sniper? Great hit from the Panther 4. The half the shock trooper squad gone at almost max range. That was beautiful. Of course, the Soviets will probably look at it in a different manner.
We have a new sniper under our command.
Comes out towards the Pioneers, and before tuning in there. And Maxim for Saltfish, they'll further deal with Stormjaeger's infantry. Ooh, popping its in the outfits and rounds. Lovely. Turning into the counters here. With high rates of fast, breaking squads, doing heavy damage, falls on the way there. Thumbs up there to Stormjaeger. Panther 4 holding back. He could of course do with some light repairs. He could also go for more Pioneers. We shall see what he does next. But Saltfish is seemingly stalling for the IS-2, and he's only using one field gun to stall for that. Oh, he's going for the second one. So yeah, that looks like very much like an IS-2 staller from Saltfish. Fairly risky, but again, the fact that Stormjaeger keeps loading so much manpower and thus is not flexing his full strength as easily, I think, as wisely as possible with Saltfish. It's actually making this easiest in the scene, was getting hit by, multiple, more infantry squad support weapons. I think an IS-2 stall would be a lot more painful here for Saltfish, but because Stormjaeger keeps loading so much manpower and thus not exerting full strength as much as possible, he is making the IS-2 stall easy here for Saltfish, and well, less painful. Got the sniper joining in here though. 2 killed so far. Great kill there on the Panther with the field gun. Nice little ambush there. Nice little ambush. Another shot going through the armor. North bit point being seized. Pioneers reinforcing. Fine fact when it comes to tanks, even like if a tank wasn't penetrated, it was typically some chance of damage to the crew inside because of what was known as spalling, where basically just small, bits of the armor inside, go loose and, fly around, cause damage that way. Even more of a danger in riveted tank, where you can also have the rivets themselves, pop out and actually, harm if not sort of kill the crew. That was one of the reasons why most armies quickly stopped using riveted tanks once they realised that. Fun fact. Well, except the Italians who struggled with that because they, you know, couldn't really afford welding, or at least hadn't as many welding specialists. Fun fact. But for example, you know, infamous Tigris Autocarius serving a Czechoslovakian Panzer 38T, which had rivets, actually, you know, had a case where almost got killed because of it, and actually lost the radio operator due to a rivet from a tank going loose and going straight through his head. In Autocarius' case, he lost a tooth to it. I think some teeth. So, fun fact there. Tier 4 for Stormjaeger, as always. Not a fan of that one. Particularly when he's already, you know, not exerting his resource as efficient as possible. Floating and, you know, stalling against his opponent. We're, of course, going to go for the IS-2 first. I feel like this is fairly risky for Stormjaeger. At the very least, should build some fuel caches or something. He's going for more grenadiers and the machine guns. He's not replaced the command squad. I'm not entirely sure why he would go for a grenadier squad over the Jaeger command squad, to be honest. That just seems a bit bizarre. As the Jaeger command squad is just, you know, a bit more expensive, but again, you get, you know, another guy and you get 3 G43s for free, which is amazing. So I'm not entirely sure why I'd go for just a regular grenadier squad over the Jaeger command squad, which just offers more firepower, period. Almost got the consort there, but does get away by the looks of it. Does get away. Panther 4 there close to into 1. Saltfish there getting close to the IS-2 heavy tank. Lots of pressure here from Saltfish on Stormjaeger. Grenade off here. The RG-42. A simplified version of the RGD-33 anti-tank grenade, which also packed more explosives as well. Fun fact. Slamming forwards here for Stormjaeger. Panther 4 very close to 1. Goodness, and shock troopers pulling back. Need to get that car falling back, though, else he's going to be in trouble. Back here in Saltfish, again, the stall for the IS-2 continues, but again, fairly successful simply because, again, Stormjaeger, despite having a resource lead, is not really using it. I'm not entirely sure why he keeps loading all that manpower. It's definitely a bit strange and a bit awkward. That said, it's not like he's doing terribly with it, so, you know, there's that, but it's definitely not something I advise. At least he's gone for another machine gun now, which is great. There's clearly something here that Saltfish is looking to start with double field gun barrage here, but by the position, forcing the machine gun to retreat already. Need to get some more victory points there. Back here, reinforcing healing. Guess we're going to support all the heavy Panther calls soon here from Stormjaeger. Question course was again planning. Is it field guns, Panther Werfers, or a Panther? Probably have to be the Panther because the Sturmpanzer of the Panther Werfer will definitely fall very short against the IS-2, which is about to hit here for Saltfish and the Red Army. Panther 4 close to Veterans 1. Heavy Panther going out for Stormjaeger. Pioneers how to work on that one. Sniper creeping forwards. Panther 4 sitting as well there for Stormjaeger. Actually the western victory point there. Shot fired. Got good map control here versus Saltfish, but again, that may just quickly change once it gets hit by the IS-2. But there you go. Heavy Panther co-op here for Stormjaeger and the German army. Sniper creeping about here. 5 kills. Not got a lot of kills with the sniper, honestly. Field guns there being ambushed about. Very nice. Very cheeky. Very freaky. And there you go. IS-2 heavy attack out there for Saltfish and the Red Army. Netless hammers on the turrets for infantry to ride along. That's Decisive, which was actually part of Soviet armored doctrine. Have tank riders, which we know designated to support the tanks as well, I believe, or at least ride along with them. Usually equipped with submachine guns as well. There, guys, who ride the grenadiers here. Heavy fire they unleashed. Bit unfortunate never got that tank riding mechanic again. Very unfortunate. Would have also been a perfect fit for Kamini Survey Light. It would have been great to see on stuff like the IS-2 and the T-34s. Infantry holding up here, Contra holding up there as well. Panther and Fort going for the Contras here. We got another Panther there away from. Oh! So after going for the Panther Panther realizes Renault decides not to go for it. Goes for another Panther forward here. Definitely rigs of Panther now here, which may fall short here against Saltfish. machine gun, I think, and the Pioneers need to get out of the way of the IS-2 heavy tank. Fielding's following up as well there. Head 40 shoots, gets... Oh, it doesn't even hit. Fielding the bump to further clear the way here for the IS-2. Very good. This time, though, the pack punches straight through the IS-2's side armor. Very nice shot. Reinforcing back in Stormjaeger's base. Shocks are going up here. And he's sending it as well.
We are losing a sector.
Time for need repairs. Finish the shock troopers. Panther 4 need to repair. Shock troopers backing off. Sandbags up here. Getting the shock troopers, sandbags up in the centre, we got the IS-2 pushing forward to make a breakthrough attempt here. There you go, a lot of infantry on top. There you go, double paxi. Great time here for targeting. Remember, the IS-2 to get that off. That could be huge here for him, but no, doesn't get it time to even coordinate here with the Stu close edge. What was possibly in a GG moment here then for Saltfish as the IS-2 then got turned into a flaming pile of scrap. But Stormjaeger, sadly, either too preoccupied or whatever, didn't get this popped off. He was, of course, still trying to get to work here, we shall see, but, I mean, targeting from the close air support would be great. He had to go for the Panther, but isn't going for it. I guess he's too distracted now what's going on the front line. The IS-2, of course, being a rather big thing there. Ooh, target connected, there we go. Panther forward, does it blitz forward? Yes, calling in the air support here as well, though. I think he should have waited, called in too sooner, since the IS-2's already at the edge, so can actually get away there. I think had he got a bit there, he might have get a chance, but there you go, IS-2 now already backing out there, so while he almost got the IS-2, there's no chance of actually finishing the job either. I'm guessing it was working, you know, would wear off. Still no additional Jaeger command squad, he's still floating on manpan, still no additional armor. And can he just go for a Panther when he could have? Might even have a chance to finish off the IS-2 here. Aircraft going down to the base, almost taking out the machine crew there, and we go. Panther for Stormjaeger. Still calling the Jaeger command squad, or Panzer going to be a squad. I think either of those would be excellent here for Stormjaeger. As a Saltfish, keeping up pressure is great, calling in a T-34, or even a Katyusha to back up the IS-2 would be great here. The Katyusha for bombarding and clearing out Stormjaeger support weapons, the T-34 just backing up, providing firepower. So a few options there for Stormjaeger and for Saltfish. Panther halfway done there. Stormjaeger may want to consider Stu to back up the Panther, just to increase chance of finishing off the IS too fast. He is, of course, out of work. Then we do get a Katyusha here, so clearly he is prioritizing the packs here as the bigger threat to his IS-2. We got 235 to 339, machine holding up the center. Panther almost down there for Stormjaeger for the German army. Deutschland. Shock to remove the western victory point here. Very good there. IS-2 is almost fixed up here for Saltfish. Front reinforcement machine, they're being pushed back. And he's moving forwards. And there you go. Panther out for Stormjaeger. Germany. Deutschland. He's finally going for some Panzer grenadiers, but he's lost another Grenadier squad. This point should probably just call in the Jaeger command squad as well. He's back it up with. Machine gun out in the open. Ace level as well there. Can't go for that Jaeger command squad now. Rifle need off and close one there. Payload machine almost done for the Panther. IS-2 moving forwards. Got the IS-2 rolling forwards for the glory of the Soviet Union. Being pushed back here. Engaging the Grenadiers by the eastern victory point. Attack coming up. Panther is equipped with T-33s. Personally, not a fan of that one. I always feel like it's a downgrade of the Panther Grenadiers. And you really want T-33 Panther. You typically also just better going for T-33 Grenadiers than the Jaeger command squad because they typically benefit more from it than the Panther Grenadiers do. And again, it's just a bit more cost efficient than I feel, anyways. Attacks being blasted with Katyushas. Stormjaeger under a lot of pressure here from Saltfish, though again still flooding manpower. Could go for Ostwing, could also go for another Panther full soon. Might want to fix up the Panther a bit. Pioneers need to before they get wiped out. More Pioneers would also be an excellent choice now for Stormjaeger. 200 points left. Panther moving to the shock troopers. Bombing grenade hitting each of 3. Ooh, they almost blew themselves up. but they narrowly survived. Can't say quite the same for all those shock troopers. Some did survive that one as well. So Panther back for repairs. Pioneers reinforcing. T-Fed force was going for Saltfish. Ice 2 being fixed up there. Fun fact that is in fact a machine gun in the rear of the turret, which active feature Soviet heavy armor before and during the war. The only other tanks believed that actually used that sort of machine guns, Japanese tanks, would also feature machine guns in the rear of the turret. Just wait infantry climbing up on the back there. Little fun fact. Most other armies never really bothered with it. Osman there for Stormjaeger. Interesting choice for that one here. But clearly prioritising infantry support weapons then. Machine gun can release and back up the packs. Hit with a tag weak point. You should have a good chance with the irons too. What's this? We got the OF-471 fragmentation shell, which in this case didn't manage much. Packs basically failed to either penetrate or hit it. Very lucky there for Saltfish. Panther's good to go once more here for Stormjaeger for Germany, Deutschland. Orbital Lightning, Godhatch hits out and then his Panther campaign turns. Gunners Joshing here, gonna Panther fast, the Panther punches through there as well. Not calling hits either. Penetrating hit there. Panther for flank. Shocking hampered then forward to the Panther. Got really bounced up the target there, of course, making a great target for Saltfish and Cindy Artillery. Forcing Stormjaeger to scatter, making counter pod. There you go, Katusha further adding to the pain, to the misery here for Stormjaeger, leaving his position even further exposed. And Saltfish is quick to fill up the vacuum with his infantry and possibly his armor as well. Panther's running out there for Stormjaeger. Panther running through the muck here. Osman on the east side here. Going for the northern victory point. Looks like the Panther's going to set for some deep flank here versus Saltfish. Quick plan out here. He's being hammered. Situation looking fairly risky in there. Go Panther correcting the T-Fed force from 60. Down a half up the T-Fed 4. Panther takes some slight damage here. Up close, the T-Fed 4 does some increased champion shots through. Gets one through there in fact. Mark of that. There you go. Damaged engine. And now the Panther's starting a really bad spot here versus Storm. Versus Saltfish here. Osman's the conscripts. Figment providing meanwhile. I was just going to try and finish off the Panther here, possibly. Panther fancy time to get away. Got the Osman there, painful blow there to Stormjaeger. Might have been partly the result that again focused too much on the Panther then. Machine in there, unveiling its ambush position. Then points, of course, gets the highest too. Could be, of course, in the country advance with a strict performance there. Packs coming in here. Eyes 2 down to half of Packs around. He could maybe target the weak point. Targets the weak point, Ludwig. But there's the weak point. Just shoot any rounds at damn thing. It's Russian made. Shots are playing the Pack 4 both cleared out. This is, I think, a stinging blow could be empty. Almost got in the eyes too. Again, but once more falls just a tiny bit short of finishing off this Stalinist behemoth. With that, Stormjaeger concedes. GG, game over, loss here for the German army victory for Saltfish. I mean, some good moves on both sides, but then Stormjaeger, I think, was severely handicapped by the fact he kept flowing so many resources at times. And I also feel like the tier 4, just as usual, didn't do it for him. I think just more Panzerforce and Stuks early on were made it much harder for Saltfish in the first place. He just stalled for the IS-2, but also made it much harder to keep this IS-2 safe once he finally had it out in the field. But as you know, good maneuvering for Saltfish, I think also proved to be crucial here. Certainly was very good, I think, handling the map here versus Stormjaeger. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.